The favor that changed everything. Some favors sound harmless. Just one night. Just pretend. No one has to know. That's what Daniel, Reed told himself, when he asked the question that would change both of their lives. And that's what Emma Collins thought too, until she realized pretending could feel dangerously real. Emma was used to being underestimated. At 28, recently divorced, and running a struggling freelance design business, she had learned how quickly people dismissed her. Too soft, too emotional, too ordinary. She had heard it all, especially from men who thought confidence only came in expensive suits. That's why she was nervous standing in the glass conference room on the 32nd floor of Reed Enterprises. This meeting mattered. If she landed this contract, she could finally breathe again, pay overdue rent, keep her business alive, prove she hadn't failed after her marriage collapsed. She had worked 2 straight weeks on the proposal. Everything had to be perfect. When the door opened, Emma didn't turn around at first. She assumed it was an assistant. Then she heard his voice. "Miss Collins." She turned and forgot how to breathe. Daniel Reed stood near the windows, city skyline behind him, posture calm and commanding. Early 30s. Sharp jawline. Dark eyes that looked like they missed nothing. He wasn't just the CEO, he was the kind of man people listened to without realizing why. He extended his hand, professional, polite. But when their fingers touched, something flickered. Brief, unexpected, real. Emma ignored it. She always did. The meeting started normally. Emma explained her design strategy, how branding wasn't just visuals, but trust. How people connected with honesty, not perfection. Daniel listened intently, asking smart questions, challenging her ideas without dismissing them. She relaxed, until he interrupted her mid-sentence. "Before we continue," Daniel said carefully, "I need to ask you something unconventional." Emma froze. "Yes." He exhaled, rubbing the back of his neck, an oddly human gesture for someone so controlled. "My parents are hosting their anniversary gala tomorrow night. My ex-fiancée will be there." Emma nodded slowly. "I'm sorry. She's coming with my former best friend," he added. "That changed everything. And my family," Daniel continued, "won't stop asking why I'm alone. Why I haven't moved on." Emma waited, confused. "I need someone," he said, meeting her eyes, "to pretend to be my girlfriend for one evening." Silence filled the room. Emma blinked. Once. Twice. "You're serious?" "I am." Her first instinct was to say no. It was inappropriate. Risky. Insane. Then he spoke again. "I'll double your project fee," he said evenly. "And if the presentation tonight goes well, I'll make your firm our official design partner." Emma's heart slammed. This wasn't flirting. This was leverage. And he wasn't looking at her like an object. He looked desperate. "One night," she said slowly. "Just the party. Just the party," he confirmed. "No one will know it's fake." Emma hesitated. Then she shook his hand. "Deal." Neither of them acknowledged the spark that returned, stronger this time. That evening, Daniel came to her apartment to coordinate their story. He wasn't in a suit now. Jeans, rolled up sleeves, coffee in hand. He looked less like a CEO and more like a man trying to hold himself together. They sat on her small couch, creating a fictional love story. How they met. why they liked each other, how long they'd been together. When Daniel explained why his girlfriend attracted him, intelligent, independent, unimpressed by money, Emma felt heat rise to her face. "This is supposed to be fake," she said. "It has to sound real," he replied. But his eyes lingered a second too long. The next night, when Daniel picked her up, he forgot every practiced line. Emma stepped out in a simple navy dress, elegant, not flashy. And Daniel realized something terrifying. Pretending was already over. This is what happens when pretending becomes really bad for you. Pretending is not a thing when it becomes dangerous. People get into trouble when pretending becomes dangerous. I do not like it when pretending becomes dangerous, because pretending is something that people do every day. There are a lot of situations where pretending becomes dangerous, like when people pretend to be someone they're not. And that is when pretending becomes really bad. The problem with pretending is that it can become dangerous, and that is what happens when people take pretending far, and pretending becomes a big problem. When pretending becomes dangerous, it can hurt people. That is why pretending is not a good thing when it becomes dangerous. The moment Emma walked into the Reed family gala, she knew why. Daniel had seemed nervous when he talked about it. Emma thought the Reed family gala was really something because Daniel had looked very worried when he was telling her about the Reed family gala. The place was really beautiful with crystal lights, a live band, and shiny floors that looked like gold. You could tell that the people there had a lot of money, and they expected everyone else to have it too. They walked around like they owned the place, smiling at each other in a way that seemed fake, and looking at others like they were trying to figure out if they were good enough. The venue was full of people who acted like they were better than others just because they had money. Right away, Emma felt it. The looks. Curious. Measuring. Dismissive. She was not one of the people in that group. They knew it. The people in that group were aware that she was different from them, that she did not belong with them. She was not like the people in the group. Daniel felt it too. He did not think about it. His hand moved to the small of her back. It was a protective touch. This was not an accident. Daniel did this on purpose. With the small of her back. He asked if I was okay, and he did it quietly. Emma nodded. People have thought I am not good enough before. That is what they think of me, Emma. He looked at her. Was surprised. The way she spoke was really calm and strong. Her voice had a lot of strength in it. He was taken aback by the strength in her voice. The person said that they picked the night to do what they did. Daniel's mother came into the room soon as they were inside. She looked very elegant. Had sharp eyes. She was also very good at noticing how people were feeling. This made Emma feel a little nervous. Daniel's mother was the kind of person who could tell what you were thinking by looking at you. This was a bit scary for Emma. Daniel's mother was emotionally aware, and it was like she could see right through you. "Daniel," she said with a smile. Then she looked at Emma. She told Emma that she must be the woman who made her son happy again. The woman who made her son smile again. That is what Emma was to her son. Emma was about to say something. She opened her mouth. Daniel spoke up before she could. He was the one who answered first. Daniel did. The man said that this is Emma. She is his girlfriend. The word landed heavier than either of them expected. It was a deal for the word to have that much impact. The word really landed heavier than they thought it would. His mother gave Emma a hug right away. She looked at Emma with a lot of curiosity. She really wanted to get to know Emma. She did not look at Emma like she did not trust her. His mother was very open. She studied Emma. The woman said that the person was not what she had thought they would be. She said this to the person directly. The person was not what she had expected all. Emma smiled in a way. She said, neither was he. The older woman. You could tell she really meant it. Daniel looked at Emma like she had just done something good that nobody told her about beforehand. Daniel thought Emma had passed a test that nobody warned Emma about. For the hour, Emma did a great job. She was really good at what she was doing. Emma kept doing everything right. She spoke with a lot of grace. She laughed easily. When people asked her questions, she answered them without getting nervous. She did not make up things about her life. Try to hide the hard times she had. She just told the truth about her life in a way. The truth about her life was what she told, confidently. That was what unsettled people. When someone asked Emma what she did for work, and looked surprised when she said she was a freelancer, Emma looked back at them, said it was okay. She was a freelancer. That is what she did for a living. Emma met their gaze. Replied calmly that being a freelancer was her job. I create brands from scratch. This is also how I rebuilt my life. I build brands from the ground up. It is a process that I am very familiar with because I had to rebuild myself too. No apology. No explanation. Daniel was really amazed when he saw what was happening. He just stood there. Watched. Daniel could not believe his eyes. He had brought her to this place, so he would not feel embarrassed in front of people. He wanted to protect himself from feeling really bad about what people might think. He had brought her here for his sake to save himself from humiliation. She was in charge of the room. Everyone could tell. The woman was commanding the room with her presence. Then came the moment that the man had been dreading along the moment of truth. For him, the moment he had been thinking about. For a very long time, the moment that the man had been dreading. The man's old fiancée showed up. She looked really beautiful and polished. There was something not quite right. She had a smile on her face. It did not really reach her eyes. Her arm was wrapped around the arm of a man who used to be Daniel's closest friend. Daniel, she said in a voice. So this is the woman we were talking about. Emma felt the tension instantly. It was like a knot in her stomach. The tension was really strong. Emma could feel it all over her body. When Emma thought about what was happening, the tension got even worse. Emma just wanted the tension to go away. It would not leave her alone. Daniel said yes. He spoke in a voice. This is Emma, Daniel said. The ex-fiancé looked at Emma with a lot of dislike in her eyes. She did not say a word. The way she looked at Emma said it all. The ex-fiancé's eyes swept over Emma, and you could tell she did not think much of her. How unexpected. Before Daniel could say anything, Emma started talking. Life is like that, she said with a smile. It is what makes life better. Life can be tough. That is what makes life better. The ex-fiancé blinked. She was totally caught off guard by what was happening. The man who was sitting beside her had a smile on his face. "Well, congratulations to you," he said. "It seems like you found someone really quickly. You moved on from your life very fast." Daniel felt that sting again. It was something he knew too well. Then Emma did something really sweet. She squeezed Daniel's hand gently. She said that they did not rush into things. They just did not waste their time trying to be something that the people they really are not. The words weren't part of the plan. They were better. The ex-fiancé got up. Left a little while after that. She was really upset. It was clear that she had given up. The whole thing happened without either of them yelling at each other, which is pretty surprising. The ex-fiancé just walked away. That was it. That night the orchestra slowed down a lot. The music was not as fast as it was before. The orchestra was playing the music slowly now. Couples were all standing on the dance floor. The dance floor was full of couples. They were all dancing together on the dance floor. The couples on the dance floor were having a time. Daniel's mother showed up again. She was smiling like she knew something. She said to him, "You are dancing." She wanted to know if the dancing was real. She really wanted to see if this dancing was actually happening. There was really no way to get out of this situation. The thing was just there. You could not avoid it. It was everywhere. Daniel extended his hand. He was waiting for someone to shake it. The person Daniel was waiting for was probably going to be surprised that Daniel extended his hand like that. Daniel really wanted to shake hands with this person. "May I?" Emma took the thing that was there. The thing belonged to Emma now because she picked it up. Emma had it in her hands. She was holding on to it tightly. The thing was with Emma. The moment the people started moving, something changed. The people began to walk. Something was different. The movement of the people caused a change to happen. This wasn't performance. This wasn't strategy. Daniel and Emma moved together easily. Too easily. Daniel's hand was at Emma's waist. It felt like it was meant to be there. Emma's head rested against Daniel's shoulder for a moment. That felt like it could get her into trouble. Daniel and Emma being so close, like this, felt dangerous for Emma. He said that she smells really good. The words just came out of his mouth without him thinking about it. The smell of her is just amazing. It is something that he cannot help but notice. The scent of her is incredible. Emma laughed softly. "You are not supposed to say things like that." He said that he was not supposed to feel this way. The man admitted that he was not supposed to feel this. The song ended. Neither of them moved away right away. The song had. They just stood there not moving. The applause that was happening around them felt far away. The applause was not affecting them much. They just felt like the applause was something that was going on around the people, not really around them. The applause from the crowd felt distant. Emma said, "That was not fake." She said it softly. Daniel said no. He thought it was not what people said it was. Daniel said it was not like that. Then it hit me. Pretending was the worst thing I could do. It felt like I was telling a lie, and that was really scary. Pretending was like a lie, and it felt very wrong. That night Daniel walked with Emma to her car, outside the place where they had been. They did not say a word to each other. The time it was completely silent. Daniel was walking Emma to the car. He said this after a while. "I do not want to do something that will hurt you," he said. "I am talking about the kind of thing that costs you something, like the thing that's important to you. And I do not want to cross that line, the line that is important to you." Emma looked at him, really took a look at him. She said that she is not fragile. She will not let people use the woman. The woman wants to be treated with respect. She does not want people to take advantage of her. The woman. He said that he would never do that. The woman really thought that he was telling the truth. She had faith in the man. The woman believed him. That scared her more than anything. When the mask slipped, the morning after the gala, reality returned with sharp edges. Emma woke up in her small apartment, sunlight cutting across the ceiling, her phone buzzing nonstop. Messages from friends, notifications from social media. Photos from the gala were everywhere. Daniel and Emma dancing, smiling, standing close. To the world, they looked like a perfect couple. To Emma, it felt like standing on the edge of something fragile and dangerous. She dressed quietly, choosing simplicity over drama, and headed to her studio space, a shared creative office she rented month to month. Work was her anchor. It always had been. But even there, the whispers followed. "Isn't that the CEO's girlfriend? Guess connections matter more than talent. Must be nice to skip the line." Emma closed her laptop slowly. She had rebuilt herself once after divorce, after being told she wasn't enough. She wouldn't let anyone take that from her again. At Reed Enterprises, Daniel faced his own storm. Board members congratulated him on finally moving on. Investors joked about how having the right woman seemed to suit him. But buried beneath the smiles were questions about Emma. "She's not exactly corporate," one executive said carefully. "Does she understand discretion?" another asked. Daniel listened. And for the first time in his career, he didn't immediately defend. He realized something uncomfortable. People weren't questioning Emma because she lacked credibility. They were questioning her because she didn't fit their idea of who deserved proximity to power. The real conflict erupted during a strategy review later that week. Emma had been invited, not as Daniel's girlfriend, but as the designer who created the most successful pilot campaign the company had launched in years. As she presented her data, engagement metrics, conversion growth, brand trust scores, a senior marketing director interrupted her. "These results are impressive," he said, "but we should be cautious about appearances." Emma paused. "What appearances?" He hesitated. "Your relationship with Mr. Reed could raise concerns about objectivity." The room went still. All eyes turned to Daniel. He felt the weight of expectation, to smooth it over, to protect her, to end the discomfort. He didn't. Emma straightened, calm but unyielding. "With respect," she said. "Every metric you see was reviewed and approved by independent teams before this meeting. My work stands on its own. If there's concern, it should be with the data, not my personal life." The director frowned. "This isn't personal. It became personal the moment my qualifications were questioned instead of my work. Emma replied. Instant karma arrived quietly. The CFO spoke up. She's right. Her campaign outperformed every internal proposal. If we're discussing bias, we should examine why success makes us uncomfortable when it comes from outside. Silence. The conversation moved on. Emma didn't smile. She didn't need to. After the meeting, Daniel caught up with her in the hallway. I should have said something sooner, he admitted. No, Emma replied gently. You did exactly what you should have done, which was letting me speak for myself. That answer stayed with him all day. The backlash came later. Anonymous comments, industry gossip blogs, subtle digs questioning Emma's credibility. It hurt. But it also revealed something important. The problem wasn't Emma. It was the system. And systems don't change unless someone forces them to. Emma responded the only way she knew how, by working harder, smarter, and louder. She published insights, spoke at design panels, shared her process openly. She refused to hide, and people noticed. Clients reached out. Media outlets requested interviews, not about Daniel, but about her work. The narrative shifted. That night, Daniel stood outside Emma's apartment again, but this time, not with uncertainty. I don't want to be the reason people doubt you, he said. Emma met his gaze. Then don't be the reason they believe in me either, she replied. Let me earn it. He smiled, soft, proud, real. You already have, he said. And in that moment, they both understood. This wasn't about pretending anymore. This was about choosing honesty, even when it cost something. When pretending turned into choice. The backlash reached its peak the week Reed Enterprises hosted its annual Innovation Summit. Emma hadn't expected to be invited. When the email arrived, she read it twice, certain it had been sent by mistake. Her name was listed as a keynote collaborator, recognized for leading the creative direction behind the company's most successful campaign in 5 years. For the first time, her work was being acknowledged publicly, without footnotes or explanations. Daniel didn't say anything when she showed him the email. He simply smiled. I told you, he said. Truth lasts longer than rumors. The summit hall was packed. Executives, investors, journalists, industry leaders. The same people who once whispered now watched the stage closely. Emma stepped into the spotlight calmly. She spoke about branding as responsibility, about how companies lose trust when they value image over integrity, about how innovation thrives when diverse voices aren't just invited, but respected. She never mentioned Daniel. She didn't have to. When questions opened, one journalist finally asked what everyone had been waiting for. Collins, he said. How much of your success can be attributed to your relationship with Mr. Reed? The room held its breath. Emma didn't look to Daniel. She smiled. My success, she said evenly, comes from years of rebuilding myself after failure, trusting my skills when others doubted them, and choosing integrity over shortcuts. Any relationship in my life exists because of that, not instead of it. Applause erupted. Not polite applause. Real applause. Instant karma doesn't always come as punishment. Sometimes it comes as recognition. Later that evening, the board convened privately. The same marketing director, who had questioned Emma's credibility, now faced questions of his own about bias, about ethics, about whether he belonged in a company claiming to value progress. He resigned within the month. No scandal. No drama. Just accountability. On the terrace overlooking the city, Daniel joined Emma as the event wound down. "You didn't need me today," he said quietly. "I never needed you to save me," Emma replied. "I needed you to respect me?" He nodded. "And I do. Completely?" There was no urgency now. No tension. No pretending. Just choice. Daniel reached for her hand, not as a CEO, not as a shield, but as an equal. Emma took it. Months passed. Emma's business flourished. She hired designers who reminded her of herself, talented, overlooked, waiting to be seen. She made sure they never felt invisible. Daniel remained beside her, never in front of her spotlight, never behind her success. When people asked how their story began, Emma answered honestly. "With a favor," she said, and the courage to stop pretending.